Hi everyone. I wanted to just jump on dead quick and do a follow-up video on metacognition as promised. This is just a really quick strategy that you might want to implement. So when thinking about metacognition, one of the things that we looked at as a school was the self-regulatory cycle, the process, which is an ongoing process that we tap into whenever we're kind of doing, completing a task. And it goes like this: we plan, we monitor, we evaluate. We plan, we monitor, we evaluate. And this is a natural process for us, and it will be a natural process for lots of students as well. But for some students, that might not be the case. And so we might just need to kind of help them along a little. One of the ways that we might want to do this is breaking down that cycle, breaking down that process into the 3 areas, and perhaps even having some standalone lessons on each of those areas to really kind of hone in and focus on what, questions they need to ask themselves at each stage, and practicing each of those stages explicitly. In order to support that, you might have on the board a list of questions that they might want to ask themselves if this doesn't come naturally to them. So for example, the planning stage, for example, if we were planning an English-based question on a text, you might have on the board, have I done this type of task before? How did it go? Did it go well for me last time? What skills do I know the examiner is looking for in this response? What have I learned from the examples that we've looked at in class? And what do I know about the themes, the storyline? What are my initial ideas around this question? Monitoring, you might have questions such as, am I doing well? Have you included quotations in my response? Have I referenced context, in an embedded way? Am I answering the question? Am I finding this challenging? Is there anything that I need to stop and change to improve my response before moving on? So that's the monitoring section. And then finally, the evaluation section, you might have some questions like, how did I do? Did approaching the character question in this way work for me? Did the quote I chose enable me to go into enough detail with my analysis? How do I now need to adapt my revision based on my experience of this process? And what do I need to now find out about these characters or these themes in order to press my revision forward? So just having those explicit questions on the board or on the screen if you're online learning can really support students with this process that they might not find comes massively naturally to them. And finally, for this little quick video, I just wanted to kind of say that it's likely that within our classrooms, we're going to find some students that really struggle, that look at a question and think, I cannot do that. I've applied all the strategies in my toolkit, so I'm just going to move on to the next question. What we want to try and do as teachers in this situation is break down where in that cycle, was it the planning process? Was it the monitoring process? Was it the evaluation process? Where did it break down for that student? And if you can identify that area, you can then start to think about, designing targeted lessons to support them with that side of things to then see if the cycle works a little bit more smoothly. Anyway, I'll be back with more, possibly next week, maybe this week if I get the time. So tune in and I will get back to you with some more stuff.